Hey everyone, welcome back to Grounds Family Farm. We are in Baltimore and we have got some major updates for you. But before we get into that, here's a little bit of footage of our trip up here and what we've been up to. Here's our view of the airport from our hotel room we stayed at tonight. So we made it to Baltimore, spent our first night in the hotel, and yesterday was a little wild. It started off really great, and we thought, man, today we are rocking it. Got to the airport, made it through security like in 5 minutes. No hang-ups this time. They didn't catch Kimberly doing anything like last time.
Shoes, yeah.
So we made it through there, but then I was like, man, we could have slept in a lot longer because we made it through security and had an hour and a half wait until our flight. And I'm like, man, we could have slept another 30, 45 minutes because we had to get up at 4 something to go. Or so we thought, because we want to be there 2 hours early. But the craziest part was we start to go around the corner and I see this long line at the TSA check and I'm like, oh no, this is going to take forever. And so then I start going down the thing and there's nobody in front of us. I was like, are we going down the wrong aisle? The TSA pre-check had a very long line, and there was no line in the regular side. So we made it right through without a hiccup. Didn't even have to wait. As soon as I stepped up there, I was the next one up.
Yeah.
Made it through there. Our first flight took off a little early. He was a little ahead of schedule. Got us there earlier than we were supposed to arrive. Probably about 20 minutes is what we arrived early. Got there. Everything's going good. Supposed to board. Then, boom, delay. But it was just a few minute delay, so it's like 15 minutes. So I was like, no big deal. And then it showed our projected time to arrive was actually earlier with the delay than what it originally said. But then whenever they got there, unfortunately, unloading the plane or whatever, I guess the pilot had said that there was another aircraft that had a safety thing, and so that's why they had to make a second loop before they could land, which made them delayed.
Yeah.
It was a full flight, so they were really slow getting off. And then when we tried to load up, the person trying to load up the plane is like, hey, this is a 175 seat plane. We've got 175 passengers. And so she's like, I can load you fast, but it's only going to be as fast as y'all put y'all's luggage up and sit down. And so we don't do carry-ons on flights, mainly because on our way back, she won't be able to carry anything. And it's just been easier just to check it and just have our personal item. So once we get there, we don't have to worry about overhead bins, because that's the bad thing about having to load up early is you get the best chance for an overhead bin.
Yeah.
And so they were like, I need people to check bags because we don't have enough room for all the bags with all of you people on here. Evidently not enough people checked bags, and so everybody got boarded up. It was a really slow process, but then there's still people walking up and down the aisles looking for a place for their carry-ons because not enough people had checked them. Finally, they got stuff pushed around and stored. And this is the crazy part where we thought we hit the jackpot. Our first flight from Little Rock to Nashville was not a full flight, so there was a lot of empty seats around us. We had nobody beside us. Well, this 175-seat plane, which had 175 people supposed to be on it, there's one empty seat on the plane. And guess where it was? It was on our row. So Kimberly actually had an empty seat beside her. So she didn't have to sit beside anybody except for me on both flights. Because the way we booked it is we got the middle seat and the aisle seat, mainly because if you get somebody that's not, I'll say, aggressive enough to stand up and block the people behind you from like just pushing through, you may be stuck there till the end. And if you have a close connection, that's not good, which it worked out where we didn't this time. And so not knowing how it was going to be, I booked those. And so she lucked out and didn't have anybody beside her. And so it was crazy that it was supposed to be a fully booked plane. And I'm like, man, we've hit the jackpot. So we land in Baltimore. We barely missed the shuttle that takes you over to get the rental cars. I mean, they were pulling off as we were walking up. I was like, no, which they send one like every 15 minutes. That wasn't a big deal. But I was like, if we could have hit that, we'd have really been hitting everything just right. Catch the shuttle to the rental car place, get over there. There's a long line at the rental car line, there's several companies in this one place. We decided to go the budget route with Dollar. Would not recommend it.
No, not at all.
So we get there and there's a sign on the Dollar says, sorry, go to the Thrifty line. There's nobody working this station. So that's the line we go in. There's people there probably 6 or 7 ahead of us. And one guy, he goes, we've been here for 40 minutes. The line hasn't moved at all. And so then we find out they have no cars. So they're just dragging their feet trying to get people because they have no cars. And we had already pre-booked ours. It was a non-refundable payment. So they knew they had the money and we have no car. So then I called, because I booked through Priceline. I called Priceline. They're like, you're going to have to call Dollar, or you're going to have to go through Dollar directly. So then the lady opens up the Dollar counter. We go over there. She's like, she goes, I can book you, I can check you through, which this after we'd already waited a while. But she goes, it's going to be at least an hour wait before you might have a car. Because I was like, well, how do we cancel it then? You'll have to call. I was like, I called Priceline. They said that I had to do it directly with Dollar. Well, you'll have to call the 1-800 number for Dollar. We can't do it here at the counter. And I'm just like, this is getting ridiculous. So I was like, okay, well, go ahead and check us in then and we'll see. So we do that. And then they're like, go sit over there and we'll call you when it's ready. So we wait and wait and wait. Finally, they call us and we get a car. Check the car out. It's like a brand spanking new car. It's a Nissan Kicks, which they left it a little dirty, but I really don't care about that. But I get to look. It's got 418 miles on the car. Like, I wasn't sure that was the right mileage at first, but like that's the mileage for the car. I mean, you can still, it's got a new car smell. It is brand spanking new. It's got a few little scuffs and stuff we documented, because that's one thing we looked at the reviews on using these budget car places. They were like, make sure you document and take photographs of the car before you leave so that you have all that. So we did that, but we also, just to be safe through Priceline, it was discounted doing it through them, but they have like a damage policy where if anything happens to the car, they'll cover it and it doesn't count against you. And just knowing how it was, since the car was so cheap to rent, since we did the budget way, I was like, we're still money ahead to get that waiver instead of going to one of these other companies. And so we did that. Our regular insurance will cover, like, if we're in a wreck, like for somebody else's vehicle or something like that. It covers rental cars like that. But I just didn't want them to file something on our insurance for a ding or a scuff, even if we may not have caused it. So safe bet there. And then the other thing, last time we filled up with fuel before we returned it, because we didn't do the little fuel thing, because that is such a rip. Because they'll charge you for like a full tank of gas ahead of time. But then whenever you return it, like I heard some people, they're like, oh, your tank only has you only have half a tank of gas, so you only have to return that. So I'm like, if people are paying to refill these and they're just banking that money and leaving it on the next person, because it's hard to guess when to shut off the fuel at half a tank. So they're probably getting it returned with more gas than what it left with. So what we did is, there's a gas station like 2 miles from there, maybe even a mile. And I just filled up there because the cars, we didn't use very much gas the last time, and who knows this time, we probably won't use a whole lot either. But I just don't prepay for the stuff, because it was like $5 and something a gallon, I think, is the way that turns out to. And I was like, no, I'll just cover it. But last time we even did that, and they still charged us for it. I had to call and get it fixed, but I did. And I sent them a picture of the receipt and the address where it happened at. But I'll make sure that they document that whenever I go this time, to make sure it doesn't happen whenever we turn it in. We don't get any surprises. Like I said, they took care of it, which was budget last time. But we're just going to watch for that on this one too. But today, Kimberly has her pre-op appointment. We've got a little bit of time. We just ate a good lunch at Honey Grow. That's like a stir-fry place that is actually has gluten-free that Kimberly can eat. So she loves it. We had it here the last time, but we always ordered it through DoorDash or delivery last time.
They're super fast too, and you can build your own bowl, which I like.
Yes.
So you can put all the things that you actually want and don't have to like worry about, you know, add-ins or stuff like onions and things or accidental gluten exposure. So I love it.
Yep, so we're gonna go see if we can find something to kill time for about 2 hours, and then she's got her pre-op appointment, and maybe we'll have an update after that.
Yeah, they probably have. Glad we had time to do this today. Pretty blooms, but we came right after a cold front. Yeah.
Oh yeah, cherry blossom.
Mm-hmm. But these really are pretty when they're actually bloomed out. Uh-huh. Yeah, it took a lot of work. "26 cannons and 2 tiers."
Okay, see, look, like the sun. Well, look, like that. It looks like we're back in the day.
Pretty neat.
It's just like the picture.
It's pretty neat. Uh-huh. Wow. No. There's one over there that's open. Oh, this one's open. Bathrooms.
final thoughts about your final meal?
I'm just ready for it to get here. I'm starving. I wanted steak and shrimp today, and I hope it's as good as I'm anticipating, because we've been waiting a long time.
I'm so hungry now, I don't think it matters.
That's very true. Okay, so yesterday was pre-op. We actually got there really early. And when I say really early, I mean like an hour early. But the thing about that was we'd gone out to lunch and we'd done a little sightseeing as we showed you. But we kind of ran out of things to do. So we were like, let's just go over there, and we were actually going to go sit in the Starbucks that's downstairs in the outpatient building.
Yeah.
Well, the line was out the door, there was nowhere to sit, and we're like, let's just go on up and we'll tell her we know we're early, but, you know, here we are.
My thing is, we could sit and wait there in the waiting room, and if we got lucky, we might get in early, but either way, we're going to be sitting somewhere, so that was just as good as any other place.
Well, we get up there, check in, and she's like, oh. And she looked at my appointment time, and I was like, yeah, I know, we're super early. And she's like, okay, it's fine. And we went and sat down. Maybe 10 minutes in the waiting area, and they called my name. And they said, oh, let's get some vitals. And I was like, okay, well, last time I had an appointment, they took vitals first. It was still like 20 minutes before I actually saw anybody. Well, she took vitals, started going through stuff, and then she's like, someone from anesthesia is going to come in here in just a minute. And I was like, well, can my husband come back? And she said, yeah. So I was like, okay, well, we're actually having the appointment right now. So we waited just not really that much longer, and someone from anesthesia came in, asked me all the questions, all about my medical history.
A lot.
Medications, all that good stuff, making sure I wasn't taking anything I wasn't supposed to, like NSAIDs and all that good stuff. Did a physical exam, just, you know, listened to my heart, lungs, all that good stuff. And then she was like, okay, well, I need you to get these labs done. And she was like, do I need to do an EKG? And she's like, well, no, he doesn't have you listed to go to ICU, so we don't need an EKG. I was like, okay, you know, whatever. I figured I was going to have the works, so we figured we'd be there a long time. Mm-hmm. And so she's like, here, go downstairs, hand them this, and you're done with me. And I was like, okay, cool. So we went downstairs, had the labs drawn. I'm a little bruised up today because as soon as she went in with the needle, my vein moved, and she was like, are you okay? Am I hurting you? I was like, no, just get it. Because she actually was fine. She didn't hurt me like when I was in the hospital before, when they had to try to find it, and it was incredibly painful. Mm-hmm. And kept apologizing, but she finally got what she needed, and she was like, okay, I think you're good. I go out to the waiting area, and he's on the phone handling some business, and I hear my last name called again. And I'm like, what in the world? And they were like, she already left. And I was like, hey, no, I'm right here. And they were like, oh, she set you up for an EKG. And I said, oh, okay, well, I don't know what changed, but, you know, whatever. So I went back there. They did the EKG, you know, in and out. I was finished. And they were like, okay, you gotta come back here 5:30 Wednesday morning. It's like, all right, that'll be fine. We'll be here. And then that evening, all my labs and everything started rolling in, all my results. Everything is perfect. So good to go. No issues there. Really, really happy about that. And then this morning, I actually got a call, and it was a Baltimore area code number. So I was like, oh, I better answer this, because I figured it was the hospital. Well, I pick up the phone and say hello, and it's my doctor calling himself, not the PA. It's actually him. And he was like, well, I know you've been talking to my PA, but he's like, you and I haven't really had a chat since we've been in the office. He said, we haven't talked at all. He's like, so wanted to give you a quick call, and that way we can, you know, visit, and I can talk to you about some stuff because we've got some decisions to make. And I was like, okay.
Never the call you really want to get, because you don't know what to expect when they're like, we got some stuff to talk about, when you thought you've got all your plans already made. Yeah.
So the decision making is, he's like, I know we're going in tomorrow and we're going to do this monitor. And I was like, yeah. he said, okay, there's 2 ways I can do this. There's 2 different ways that they can insert it. One is most common in kids and one is most common in adults. With adults, the most common method is a bolt, which under anesthesia, they drill a hole, they place this bolt with this monitor attached to it into the skull, so it's screwed in. They don't have to shave a whole lot of hair for that, but it is a little bit more difficult, and it can be a little uncomfortable when it's removed because that's done at bedside, but wasn't really a whole lot of anything on that. But he said, it is, sometimes the idea of a bolt into your skull is kind of the hard part. And the other way is just basically kind of tunneling it up under the scalp.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that's most commonly done in kids, and it requires a lot more of the head shaved, but you don't have a bolt.
And the reason he said that that's most common in kids is because their skulls are not hard enough to actually hold the bolt in. And so that's why there's the 2 different options. So on the adults, the skull is, he was at least giving her that option because he could do either way.
Yeah, and when he told me about the hair, you'll guess what I chose. I chose the bolt. Plus, I don't know what it is. The thought of something, I already knew that there was a hole going to be there and something stuck through my skull. But the idea of having something tunneled up under my scalp really kind of freaked me out a little bit. A lot more than the bolt. I
didn't get
explain that.
So I was just like, okay, a bolt in your head or just going under the skin? You would think that under the skin would be less, I guess, creepy for you, but...
Yeah, he was privy to my faces while I was listening to him.
I wished I would have been recording it. But.
Yeah. But he said that this is like a 30-minute procedure. He said shouldn't be, a lot of issues or any complications or anything. It's pretty straightforward. And he said the biggest thing is that sometimes the recovery room is not ready for you because you're in and out so quick. So I was like, oh, well, okay, that's not too bad. And then he kind of changed course from what we've been hearing. I've been hearing all along, this is, 2 to 3 days, 2 to 3 days, 2 to 3 days. He said, if everything is normal or as it should be and nothing crazy to throw a wrench in stuff, I may be out in about 24 hours.
Yeah, because he was talking about that the main thing is they get a lot of data while you sleep, and so if they don't get a good reading or if there's some anomalies or something on the first night, they may want you to stay a second night to sleep.
Yeah, but I'm just like, okay, everybody I've talked to so far has been 2 to 3 days. And he said, unless something crazy happens, I should be done in a day. And he's not talking, as everybody else has been, about if we do surgery. He's like, this is going to help me determine which surgery I'm doing because I have that spot reserved for you on Monday, and I just got to figure out what I'm doing with you. He's like, because to be honest, he's like, I don't really know. And he just kind of laughed. Which, it is kind of funny.
She's an odd case.
I am. He was talking about the complexity of it and all that, but that this should give him the data that he needs to be able to make that better decision for my particular case. Which, I appreciate the honesty. I really do. Yeah. If it comes down to it and we still don't have an answer and he's kind of torn between the two, then I'll give him my 2 cents about what I think. But, that'll be at the end. And he's hoping that, obviously, that we're done on Thursday. But he does have a surgery that morning, so he's going to see if he can come by to see me before I'm discharged because he doesn't know at what time they would discharge me. If not, he's going to give me a call with, once he talks to the neurologist, once he gets all the data and everything. But he's hoping to either give me a call Thursday or Friday morning, and we will have a plan by then.
Yeah, he said most likely Thursday, but if there was something that they were waiting on some data or something, then Friday at the latest.
Yeah, so...
Which it would just about have to be because Monday is when it's going down.
It was just a lot more encouraging, though, to hear somebody saying, no, this is my plan. This is what we're actually planning on. It's not, oh, we don't know if we're going to do this or not. I mean, he's like, unless something crazy shows up, which doesn't sound like he anticipates that at all.
No.
He really thinks that this is probably going to be normal, and he just got to figure out what surgery he's doing on me, how extensive he's going to go, and hopefully, that it helps. I think that's the main thing, is he doesn't want to go too invasive, but he also wants to make sure he does enough to actually give me some help, which I appreciate.
He did also go over the possible risk. He said it's very unlikely, but it is possible. Like if it's really high pressure, it could cause a CSF leak. And so that's one thing to worry about. But he'll be there to fix it, so that's a good thing about that. And it also could end up causing some red stuff to come out. So she also had to sign a form that she would be willing to accept a transfusion if it came down to that. He's like, never has he ever had to, but it's better to have that up front than on the back end. So
yeah, for sure.
Which we'd already done that consented to that in the pre-op appointment, but this was actually just a form she had to sign that kind of talked about all the risk and stuff and said that she was agreeing to allow them to do that if needed.
Yes, which I'm absolutely okay with that.
Yeah.
But
whatever it takes.
But yeah, he was very positive, and he was like, I just want to talk to you before the actual, day of, when we're not rushing, trying to get you back there, get this done. So he was very helpful with that, and he stayed on the phone with us for quite a while. So that was really, really, really good. And he, gave very detailed, descriptions of, how he was going to do this and all of that. And it kind of gave us a little more idea of, even the monitoring itself. Yeah. I feel like. So.
Because whenever he was talking, like I said, I would say that the conversation, he spoke with a little bit more urgency than the PA whenever she talked, but we didn't feel rushed. Like he asked about questions at the end, answered all those, and stayed on until we had everything answered that we wanted or could think of at the time. And so I'm sure more will come up as it happens, but that's where we are right now. Tonight, Kimberly had her final meal beforehand. We decided to splurge a little bit and get a steak. And I was going to get a picture of it, but she devoured it before I could.
In my defense, it had been a really long time since lunch, and we had to wait a really long time at the restaurant too. So
yeah, we ate, and it was a light lunch. We had a sandwich for lunch. Actually, a grilled cheese sandwich from this place, which was really nice. But
it had gluten-free, and it was great.
It was good. So that's where we are now. We've got some clothes in the dryer. That way, or fixing to go in the dryer. That way we can have that done, and we're gonna get things kind of tidied up and packed up because we got to head out probably about 4:45 in the morning.
Yeah.
To head to the hospital so we make it in time. I'm thinking most of the time, every time I check, it's when there's bad traffic. So I think we're still gonna be there really early, leaving at that time. But better safe than sorry, because I don't know when traffic gets bad in this town.
Yeah.
Because so far it's always bad.
Yeah, and it's been a little unpredictable, I feel like.
So that's where we are for now. We will have another update very soon, but tomorrow's the day for the first procedure and ready to find out what they say.
Yeah.
But that's all we've got, and we'll catch you next time on Grounds Family Farm. Bye.
Bye, guys.